Today we start our kind of last big idea, which is solving trigonometric equations. And we're going to start by solving the most basic equations that we can. This equation says solve for theta being between 0 and 360 degrees. So theta is a variable. If this equation looked like this, 2x minus 1 is equal to negative 2, would you know how to solve that? Then you're going to know how to solve this. What are we going to do first? We will add 1. Anybody lost? See? It's a good day. We know what we're doing, right? What do you think we do next? Everybody still with me? Great. Then what we have to do is we have to get at the theta. What has to go away? The sine. Some people will say, I'm going to divide sine off. We don't divide sine. We're going to do something called sine inverse, okay? And I'll show you, okay? And we're going to use our reference angle idea, which we used earlier. Here's what we first need to decide. All students take calculus. Is sine positive or negative in this problem? It is negative. If sine is negative, which quadrants is sine negative in? It's negative in the third quadrant, and it's negative in the fourth quadrant. So I draw little angles in the third and fourth quadrant. Let me try that again. Sine says it's negative. Everything's positive here, and sine's positive here. That means I have a solution in the third quadrant and a solution in the fourth quadrant. Are you okay with that? We can find out what the solution is. We take our calculator, turn it on. We're going to make sure that we're working in not radians, but degrees. And don't worry about the negative. Just type in the 1/2. And we're going to do sine inverse of 1/2, or 0.5. We already used up the negative by determining the quadrants. I press enter, and I get 30. When we sine inverse, the sine goes away, and we're left with theta. Theta is equal to, it says 30 degrees. But it's going to be this angle and this angle. If the reference angle is 30 degrees, what's the actual angle? Not 120, but, so this is 180, right? So I'm 30 degrees past 210 degrees. This is 360 degrees. So I'm going 30 back, which is 330 degrees. And so I have two solutions. If you were to type in sine of 30 degrees, you don't get negative 1/2. You get a positive. But if you type in sine of 210 or sine of 330, you can see that you do get the negative 0.5. And that's how we figured it out. Let's try another one, okay? Let's try example 3, and then we'll move to the other one. What do I do first here? Subtract 5. What's my new equation? Now what? That part's not difficult, is it? Now is where we start getting a little bit more difficult. Is tangent positive or negative? Which quadrants is tangent positive in? First and third. All students take tangent. Tangent's positive in third. Okay. So I draw two angles. One in each quadrant. I need to solve for theta. What do I do? Tangent inverse of 4/3. 53.13. And again, you always draw the angle between the terminal side and the x-axis. Never draw it up against the y-axis. Never. So theta is and I would do 180 plus 53, which is 233.13 degrees. See if we can get problem 2 started. See if you can start it. Okay, so you started by adding the 13. Negative 5 secant of theta is equal to 11. Then you divide by negative 5. Secant of theta is equal to negative 11 over 5. Right? Here's the problem. Do we have a secant button on our calculator? Switch it to cosine. Cosine of theta is equal to negative 5 over 11. Look at that little trick. Everybody clear how I did that? Where is cosine? Is cosine positive or negative? Where is it negative? Second, third. What do I do now? Cosine inverse, 5 over 11. Don't worry about the negative. We've already used that up, 62.96. So how do I figure out those actual angles? Yeah. So the negative I use to determine which quadrants I'm in. Yep. So go 180 minus, that's 62.96. We get 117.04 degrees. And if you do 180 plus 62.964, you get, whoop, I did the minus again. Switch to plus. I get 242.96. In all of your results for today, you're going to get two solutions. Two solutions. Later. Does number 4 look tricky? It's really not bad at all. What do you think we do first? Let's distribute. Negative 3 times 2. So I decided to distribute. Now I'm going to look at combining some like terms. What can I combine together on the left-hand side? So I get negative 6 cotangent of theta plus 6 is equal to, and on this side I can combine the 6 and the negative 1 to get a 5. I'm going to put all my cotangents on the left-hand side. How do I get the cotangents on one side? I'll add 2 cotangents. Get -4 cotangent plus 6 is 5. Subtract my 6. And divide by -4. Well, it was a little bit of work getting down to that point, but now we're here. I don't want to do cotangent equal to 1/4. I want to do tangent equal to 4/1. Is tangent positive or negative? In which quadrants is tangent positive? One and 3. What will I do to figure out my angle? Tangent inverse of 4. 75/96. What's my first angle? 75/96. How do I get the second one? All right. Good job. 2 more. Number 5. This should be a straightforward one for everybody. What do we do first? -1. 4 cosecant of theta is equal to -7. Divided by 4, cosecant of theta is -7/4. Now what? Sine of theta is equal to -4/7. What do I do now? Quadrants. Sine positive or negative? Which quadrants is sine negative in? 3 and 4. Sine inverse. $34.85. So I get 214.85. $325.15. About 6, what should I do first? Distribute. 2 cosine of x minus 6 plus 1. What should I distribute for the second side? A negative. So I get 4 minus 6 cosine of x minus 2. Combine like terms. Four and the -2 make 2. I'm going to add 6 cosine. And now add 5. So cosine of x is equal to 7/8. Cosine is positive in which quadrants? 1 and 4. $28.96. X is 28.96 degrees, or 360 minus that amount, 331.04. There you have it. So, solving equations. I have a worksheet for you. I have about 15 minutes to work on it.